Hello, world. I hope my message today finds you healed and hearty. Today, I want you to do something right now really important. I want you to look around you, whether you're outdoors or indoors, whatever you can find that is useless, that is not useful to you. Maybe the halls or seeds of a fruit you ate, piece of paper, nylon, leather, piece of wood, anything you can find that is useless to you right now that you're supposed to trash. Yeah. If you got that, if you can think of anything that much useless, I'm here to let you know that excuses are so useless that they cannot produce that thing, that useless thing. Excuses are so useless that they cannot even produce all the excuses in the world put together since human existence cannot even produce something useless. Think about that for a minute and let it sink in. But action, even unintentional action, take for example, a careless police officer, armed police officer, leaves his gun, um, removes his gun from safety, and maybe during movements and conversation or whatever, hands are in the trigger chamber and the barrel facing the opposite side. These are all the care you're supposed to take while handling arms, right? When in motion, when in action, your barrels are supposed to be pointed downwards. When in transit or when you're stationed, not moving, your barrels are supposed to be pointing towards the sky. Your hands are never to be in the trigger finger except when you are absolutely of the intention to shoot. So these four layers of safety, you got it out of safety. Uh, you're pointing it towards where it can hurt individuals, and then you're not pointing it downwards, and you have your finger in the trigger chamber. So when that happens, and then what they call accidental discharge goes off, whether it is intended or not, somebody is either lying or unalived or in a hospital. That is how effective action is, even without intention. Action leads to production. But excuse is done. No matter how noble your intentions were, without action. So what I'm trying to say is you cannot keep doing the same thing every time and expecting a different result. The reason you couldn't graduate with good grades, you lost your mom or you lost your dad, whoever was sick, you got pregnant after your marriage, whatever it is, financial situations, defer the admission. Write to your HOD admissions department, defer for a year or two, come back. Like something like that exists. And if you don't know it exists, like they say, ignorance is not an excuse in law. Because if you allow that in law, everybody will go scot free with I didn't know. Right. So, and the only law that should exist is common law. I'm digressing a bit. In common law, when there is no harm done to anyone, when there is no loss incurred by anyone, no law is broken. Right? So that's actual law. Everything is trash, is scam. Moving away from that, we'll get to that topic someday. Make note. Whatever you're doing in life, whatever you do, if you don't put in the work, nothing comes out of it. And if you don't know this thing I just said now, so if you don't know that there is a provision for you to defer your admission in an educational institution, it's your business, it is your life, your career, your future that is suffering it because you're supposed to know. You, you're not supposed to start browsing the girl to guy ratio in the institution you're about to attend, how friendly they are, how much parties they throw, which campuses in Nigeria has more big boys, more Yahoo boys. That's not what you're supposed to Google. So wherever you find yourself, either you're among those that are two jobs. One is their main job, and the other one is Bambiala. Because almost everyone now has two jobs. Bambiala. But then the person who's running your country, the billionaire that is running your country, is not sleeping. He's every stone, everything, moving mountains to make sure that he stays in power. You're not doing anything to take him out of power. The people trying to destroy this earth, your existence, to wipe you out, aren't taking a day off, and you're not even taking a day in to put in work in your life. He's achieved everything anyone can think about, but he's not resting. You're resting. So, and you either want to be the one that is doing Bambiala, or the one whose life is being terrorized by the Bambiala, because it's becoming a thing now that if you can feed yourself, suddenly there's somebody around you who cannot feed themselves, and they expect you to feed them. If you can feed the people around you, the people from afar, we say, what have you done for the people? We all not forget that we have governments whom we give our collective power and sovereignty as living beings, so that they can propagate their functions for the well-being of everyone, so that no one is higher than someone. The people who we make custodians of these things, so that no one can be higher than anyone, made themselves higher than us. And every law out there is not for your own protection, it is for their own protection. Because a law is nothing more than a poem, good to the ears, until it is being what? Enforced. And guess where they come into swift action? When you're moving a way that affects their interest. That is when you know that the police in Nigeria is working. They've got some security devices, apparatuses, protocols that are effective. That's when you know, but not under your case. So back to the thing. Excuses doesn't yield any result, but even an unintentional action leads to reaction, leads to production. Say, for example, two dispatch riders were sent from, let's say, from Asaba to Onitsha, yeah, and then the two bridges were broke down that same day, maybe airstrike or whatever. It is fiction, right? So this dispatch rider got there, saw what happened. The two bridges are down. He went back to the office and told them, excuse, right? The product or the item was not delivered. The second one got there, saw what happened, begged a shop there that they may allow him park his dispatch riding bike, he chains it to a pole and then carries the item, gets on board the boat, because boat people will get to work immediately to make money. It's an opportunity. Then goes across, takes a keke in Onitsha, delivers it, comes back. The other one cannot be punished for not taking all that risk or all that action. No, it's not his problem, right? But guess what happens when the CEO or the manager is appointing a new supervisor or a new manager? He appoints somebody who can think, who has a brain, who has a mind of their own, who can make decisions and take actions. Not the oldest person. You will go and argue and gossip and tell people, I'm sure the madam is dating him because I have worked there 3 years. I started my work on the 28th day of March, and so year, and he started on such and such date, on so and so. What you do is cram. Keep cramming those dates, like you crammed everything through school. Even if at all you crammed, because most people pay their way through school or the other way around through immoral means. So keep doing that. Somebody who knows how to plan and execute will take the position. It doesn't matter when you start working. And the same thing, the universe won't be sorry for your ass. It has no emotion. The universe is a farm. Whatever energy you put out there is what you get in manifold back. Negative, you get it back. Positive. But then, that's it.